Thanks very much.
Here's a tune Adam Angelo wrote with Chris Christopherson, but we hope you like. Late Night Session. Along the Nevada River in Idaho.
This is member-supported KUNV HD2 Las Vegas, the broadcast service of UNLV.
Man, awesome stuff, awesome stuff. Good afternoon, it is Sunday, and I am Russell Mays, and this is Air America, having a glorious day today. It's the last day of June. That means tomorrow is the first day of July. Duh. 3 minutes after the hour of 2 o'clock here in Las Vegas, Nevada, of course. On the East Coast, you're about, 5 after 5 or 3 after 5 is about it. Hello, everybody. Got to wave to you, everyone, once again. Currently, we're 95 degrees on the outside, Las Vegas, and mostly sunny. Mostly sunny. There isn't a cloud in the sky out there when I came in. It was just absolutely gorgeous. A couple of things that I'm going to be doing a little bit later on today, as a matter of fact, is when I was coming into the station, I think I mentioned it briefly last weekend, but there's a photograph of a painting of Bernie Sanders. So I've got to get this, and I've got to post it. There's no doubt about it, because last time I wore my Trump shirt on campus, whoo, doggies, did I ever get nailed. Well, they tried to nail me, but they didn't have a very good job, and they couldn't stand on too many facts, as it says, or as they say. But that being said, that's going to be coming down a little bit later on today. We have a whole lot of stuff to talk about, and our darling president is just making the media and the left twist and shout. That should be his theme song, twist and shout. Come on, baby, and twist and shout. Okay, so I'm not a singer, but the point is, he just does stuff that just blasts him. I'll give you an example. This is coming from the AP Press. It says, Kim Trump border meeting, history, or is it just a photo op? That's the headline of the story. So when Trump stepped across the border into North Korea, of course it's a photo op. What are you talking about? I mean, I'm glad President Obama didn't take a photo op. Ugh. Jiminy Christmas. I don't know where they got their stuff at from photo ops. Of course it was a photo op. That's what most presidents do, is photo ops. But the thing is, he made history again. There is no way from now on that another president for 30 to 40 years, ever. Actually, it's ever, I guess it is. Let's see what we got here. Let's see how they word this. Kim, border meeting history, or is it a photo op? Of course it's a photo op. We already said that. It's a photo op. You know it is. So let's see. It sure looked historic. Donald Trump and North Korean leader Kim Jong-un strode towards each other Sunday from opposite sides of the strip of land that marks one of the world's most dangerous places. They shook hands, and then Trump stepped over the concrete slab that marked the borderline between the Koreas, becoming the first U.S. president to set foot in North Korean territory. No other president will be able to say that very statement. Doesn't matter if it was a photo op. Doesn't matter anything. The left and the media did not expect this. The right did not expect this. Trump just caught them all off guard. And you know what else is happening too? President Xi or Xin or whatever his name is over in China knows that this is also historic too. Because they're the ones that are backing South Korea. Trump is a smart man. I do not care what you think. I'm tired of the liberals spewing the same junk over and over and over again. It's gotten so ridiculous it makes me laugh. I have to laugh at it every time. And the reason why is because since, let's even go back to Reagan. Every president since Reagan has spouted and spewed health care, jobs, help the country, fix the country. Well, I'm sorry. You guys have had 50 some odd years to get this right. Almost, let's see, 80, 90, 2000, 40 years to get it right. And you still can't do it. Chucky Schumer, baby's been in office for 50 years, and he's trying to tell us that he's going to make it right. Nancy Pelosi's not that far behind him. And she's going to say, oh, this is what we're going to do. We have 22 Democratic candidates for president. All of them raise their hand for free health care for illegal aliens. You come across the border, and if they're president, they're going to give them free health care. Lord, have mercy on us now. The reason why I say that is because they don't care about the American people. You have homeless in every city on the streets. California is the worst for the homeless and poverty and indigent. New York is second. Chicago is third. All three of those states are Democrat run. And if they can't clean up their own backyard, how in the heck do you expect them to clean up the country? Why would we even consider these people to be our president if they're willing to give everything away to every other country and person coming here and not taking care of their own people? Nancy Pelosi's city of San Francisco has become determined the worst city to live in now. It used to be a haven. And we're talking LGBTQ before all those initials and acronyms got added. The gays took San Francisco to make it their home place. That's perfectly fine. No problems with that at all. But now, even they are not taking care of their own city. And I, don't want to be stereotypical, but I thought they were supposed to be clean and nice. But they won't take care of their own city. Why is that? What's going on? Now you've got all these acronyms that everybody has to be a part of something. Why? The thing is, and this is what makes America great, is we are not one people. We are one nation of the people. Think about that for a minute. We're not one person. You can't change a person's skin color or nationality or religious belief or wanting to live a certain lifestyle. You can't change that. If you force somebody to change that, you're going to have another civil war on your hands. You can't do that. But you can make everybody part of this country and to be proud at what they do for the country. I'm sorry, a Democrat said this, and it was the last one that ever actually meant anything like it. Ask not what your country can do for you, but ask what you can do for your country. John F. Kennedy. Think about that, folks. He was a Democrat. He knew the government could not take care of the country. The people have to take care of the country. Now they're trying to pass all these rules and regulations and legislations. I'll tell you, they just passed that one bill. What was it? $4.6 billion for border help or protection. But yet at the very same time, you have a judge block Trump's border money. At the same time, Trump is trying to get money to fix the border. They say no, then they turn around and give more money as long as it goes to the little concentration camps that AOC is supposedly going down there tomorrow to see what it's all about. Oh, that's going to be a choice. That woman's so off the deep end, it's unbelievable. But think about this. The whole entire left has gone off the deep end. Their heads are exploding. And Trump did nothing but... if you really take it to one... I love it. I absolutely love it. It's like... All right. Was Howie Mandel go... Wah, 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 wah. Okay. Trump stepped over a cinder block. He stepped over a cinder block. The wall is only one cinder block high, and it runs down between these two buildings, and it's the closest part between North and South Korea. All he did was step over a cinder block, and the Democrats and the media's heads all exploded. They all just burst into flames. They're all running around with their heads on fire now. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And he steps over a cinder block. Oh my God. You gotta laugh, folks. Folks, come on. You gotta laugh. This is some funny stuff. This is just absolutely hilarious. The debates, I don't know if you had a chance to watch them or not. Unbelievable. Okay, now, how many here needs to use the restroom? Please raise your hand. Boop! That's basically what it came down to. Giving free health care to all the undocumented people. Well, what about free health care for everybody else in the United States, too? I got it. How about free health care for every politician in office? Oh, wait a minute. Wait. They do get free health care. I forgot about that. They do get free health care. Isn't that amazing? Our politicians have the best health care possible, and it's free. Then they turn around and tell you that you can have free health care too, but on this bill that they're trying to pass through, they want you to go on Medicare first. And then if they deem it necessary, they will allow you to have private health care. Doing my little bit of research into this proverbial health care for all, checking into it, and I posted it on social media. It's I do believe that they're censoring some of my material. Just to get off on a little bit of a tangent, I'm going to pop GoDaddy big time on this one. So I don't know if they're a company that is left-leaning or how they judge or do things, but my website at RadioRussell.net, which all my shows are posted, and it's a very conservative site, so if you're a liberal, don't go on that site. Your head will explode, okay? So, anyway, if you get on the site and everything else. So I got on there, and all of a sudden, I was getting this redirect. And I'm going, a redirect? What the heck is going on? So I was, I went on to the, fix my website, and I'm twiddling away, and I'm going, what the heck is going on here? Okay, so I called GoDaddy. And I says, I've got a redirect on my site. What's going on? So they said, let me see, you know how they do the technical support. And you can hear their keyboards, clickety, clackety, clickety, clackety, clickety, clackety. And they go, oh, yep, you are being redirected. It looks like it's malware. And I says, okay, that's fine. I got malware. What do I need to do to correct it? Bum, ba-da-da! They asked me what I need to do, or I asked them what I need to do to correct it. I'll guarantee you, every one of you listening to me in earshot knew or knows the next statement that I'm going to make. Well, you have to purchase our web security program. It should get rid of the malware and take care and fix the problem that's with your site. And I said, really? Okay. And I says, how did I get the malware? Here's something else. Now, I didn't know this, but it's probably possibly true on this. And I use a program called WordPress. It's one of the most popular out there for building websites. WordPress is huge open architecture, which means tons and tons of third, fourth party, and fifth party people make these apps that you can work with your website. Well, presumably I got one of these apps on my website that I was utilizing that dumped malware onto my site. Okay, that's fine. But out of the thousands that are available to you, you have to take your risks at getting it. Hence, Google said, well, let's put the malware on there, and if it happens, it'll fix it and it'll catch it. Really? Okay. How much? Let's get down to the nitty-gritty. How much? All right, it's probably not a lot for anybody out there, but it was $67 for the year, I think it was. And I said, $67? You want me to pay $67 a year right now, which is more than you charge me for hosting the site, which is more than you're charging me to have WordPress on there. Why do I have my website hosted with you folks then, if you can't protect the services there. Well, this is the way it goes, blah, 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 blah. And I didn't want to give the guy too much of a hard time. Because it's let's face it, folks, being a customer service agent is tough. I mean, think about it. Every phone call you get is somebody that's miffed. They're going to yell at you. They're going to scream and holler and blah, 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 blah. So I try to be nice and congenial and help them out. And I says, okay, what's the bare minimum that I can buy to fix this problem? And then they said, well, you can get 3 months for $20. So that means it's $80 a year, and they're going to charge me $65 for a year or something like that. So the real difference isn't that much, to be honest with you. So, that being said, I says, all right, just give me the $20 one. Then they said, okay, here, let me do this. Oh, which card did you want to put it on? I says, the one that's on file, blah, 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 that kind of stuff. And they says, okay, I'm putting in a ticket now to see if we can get this malware fixed. And I says, okay, cool. So they says, you're all set up. It should be 48 to 72 hours before your site gets fixed again. And we have to say that. And I understand that part. They do have to say with a buffer, because if they tell you it's going to be fixed in an hour and it's not fixed in an hour, you're going to call right back and say, hey, my thing's not fixed yet. What's the matter with you people? And that's the way people are. People don't want their lives interrupted. Little things like this irritate people's lives that are interrupted because it feels like you're being ripped off. And I do sort of feel like I was being ripped off by GoDaddy. Okay, give them a little bit of break. I've been with them for a while. I have to admit, their tech support and everything else, they're pretty much on the case. They answer the phone. That's the biggie right there. They answer the phone. But oh, I'm telling you, folks, this is just absolutely something else. And the reason is because I think what's going to happen here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue on with this. Let me do this over here, reach over here, and let's see. Yeah, we're going to do that. And because we've got to go in and do these PSA and commercials, and you know what they need and how they service the country and service the studios here at KUNV. And we are listener-supported 91.5, the Rebel HD2, Las Vegas, Nevada, the broadcast services of UNLV. And studio request line 702-895-3915. My name is Russell Mays. This is Air America. And I'm going to be trying a couple of new things today, which seems like it's working right now. The guest services, I couldn't stream live to Facebook today because the guest services wouldn't let me in. But I will continue what happened with GoDaddy in just a few momentitos. But you're going to love it. There's no doubt about it. Okay, let's go. Be right back.
The U.S. Census Bureau is looking for individuals to work part-time with the upcoming 2020 census. Information and application details at 2020census.gov/jobs.
Oh, that was a short and sweet one, wasn't it? U.S. Census Bureau, of all things to be to be bringing up on a college campus radio station, broadcasting worldwide of all the innuendos and situations where the judge blocked the census answer question about are you a U.S. citizen or are you a citizen? And didn't say U.S. citizen, it says are you a citizen, yes or no? And, of course, everybody went ballistic on this. And the judge over in California put a hold on it. He blocked it for, what was it? The press is getting it wrong. Okay, the press is screaming and hollering, yay, we blocked him, we couldn't do that. No, Justice Thomas is a hidden liberal, mostly, but that's okay. They're the Supreme Court. They have their views. As long as they try to do what the Constitution does, that's okay. But you have a few of them that are on there that just do not go again with it. Anyway, I'm getting off the track. But the reason why I was bringing it up is there was a couple of cases still in litigation, according to the Census Bureau and this question of census. And he would put it on hold until those results came back. And this is why I love Trump so much. All the liberals and the media went, yes! We got Trump again! Yay! And Trump went, that's okay. I'll just hold off on the census taking until we get an answer back. Then you never heard of this again in the news. Their heads exploded again. I'm telling you, this man is 10 steps ahead of these people, and for 2.5 years, this man has been under the most intense scrutiny anybody has ever been under in their entire life. Edward Snowden, who I mentioned last weekend, that revealed what Obama was doing with the NSA, never got as much scrutiny as Trump is getting and his family. That's a fact, folks. I mean, what's that? The private that had his appendages removed so he can become a she, Chelsea Manning. Now he or she is now a woman or whatever. She gets let out of prison because Obama said, "Oh, that's okay, you're good." And then we have Bodog or whatever his name is, coming back and releasing 5 top terrorists for this guy who actually was a deserter. Okay, that's, Then we have the court case of this naval officer that presumably killed this terrorist prisoner for murder, and then one of his medics or whatever said, no, he didn't do it. He goes, I did it. And since he was under oath for, he would testify against him and not be charged. I am forgetting the word they used for that. But he gets on stage and says, I did it. Oh, their heads explode on that one, too. It's just absolutely amazing. There's so many things that are happening to our military that is under the radar that people aren't seeing. Where in the let me get back to that in a moment, because there's so much I have to cover. But let me finish up with what I was talking about with GoDaddy. Okay. GoDaddy, they sat there and said it'd be 48 to 72 hours to fix my website, RadioRussell.net. You can see all the shows there. All the stuff that I did that I want to sit on the back porch and say, hey, look what I did when I was young and fruitful and running around. Okay. So I take the $20 deal. And with the $20 deal, the guy who's clackety, 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 clackety. He's doing it all on his computer. He goes, okay, just check back with us in a little bit and everything else. I said, thank you very much. Have a nice day. Is there anything else we can do for you? No, you're going good. I do. Thank you very much. If we send you a survey, will you please fill out the survey and tell us how well we did? Yeah, I'll do that. Blah, 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 blah. All that kind of stuff. I'm sure you hear 1,000 times now. So he says goodbye. Have a nice day. I said, thank you very much. I hang up the phone. As I hang up the phone, I type in www.radiorussell.net. Boom! It was gone. That fast. They knew exactly what was happening with my site. And they probably had it fixed before I was even done giving them the credit card number. They knew exactly what was going on with it. They knew exactly how to fix it. And they knew exactly what to do. And they had me by the cojones. There's nothing I can do. You're at their mercy. Think about this, folks. Now, they're talking about Google, and you're talking about Facebook and Twitter, and all these people controlling what we do in life. Think about if you have a business website. These hosting companies have you also. If you're hosting your website with a particular anti-Trump person or anti-liberal person or just anti-American, they have the ability to shut you off and make it look like it's whatever it is. A little bit of history, and you can actually follow this and look it up. The very first virus ever utilized on the internet was a simple one. When they caught your virus, it'd pop up on your screen with a box in the middle of the screen, and it said, to get rid of this box, call this number, and it'll be $5 removal charge. Something like that. That was one of the first viruses ever. Then they've discovered, and Symantec and Norton's and McAfee and ACT and all these other programs that are out there, virus programs and stuff like that are protecting our systems. There's no valid proof of this, but it's very interesting. How do I want to put this? It's been reported, let's put it that way, that 70% of the viruses that are on our systems are developed by the virus companies. Think about this. Why would they have to sell you updates if nobody else was making viruses? So if they are making the viruses and they have to have the updates to fix the new viruses they made, how would they be able to do that? How would these companies all of a sudden... Remember the I Love You virus that came out? It was a rancid virus. It was horrible. It was a great concept, too. Because everybody clicked on that one. Said, I love you, and it just destroyed systems. And it was a very simple virus. And it tapped into human nature is what it did. Presumably, that was developed by someone from a virus company. Presumably. I don't want to get too deep into the weeds here, but think about that. It's the same thing with our pharmaceuticals. When was the last time something was cured? I think it was polio. Was the last disease ever cured? We are in a society of healthcare of masking the problems. They're not fixing the problems. They're just maintaining the problem because there's no money in the cure. There's money in the disease and the symptoms. Think about that, folks. That's why this healthcare drives me nuts, too. So, anyway, moving right along. Woo-wee, we're 35 minutes after the hour. I'm Russell Mays, and phone number here is 702-895-3915. Having ourselves an absolutely wonderful time today. We are listener supported, the 91.5 Rebel HD2, KUNV Las Vegas, broadcast services of the UNLV right here on campus. My name is Russell Mays, and what a wonderful day. Absolutely wonderful day. 95 degrees on the outside. So anyway, I want to get over to this. I was digging into the healthcare thing after these wonderful people dug into their little pockets and they said, do they want to give health care to all? They all raised their hands. I want health care. Give me health care. Everybody gets health care, but I don't want that health care. I want my own private care so I can have everything paid for. Okay. So they all said, yes, free health care for all. So I wanted to find out how it was going to be paid, what it was going to be doing, and where all this came from, you know? It was weird. So, and I was also looking into student loans. They're wanting to give free student loans to all the students, too. And one of my ideas is give bankruptcy back to the students. If they take out a student loan, have them be able to wipe that loan off the books by filing bankruptcy. I believe it was Clinton that said, no, you cannot file and get rid of your student loan by bankruptcy anymore. It's there no matter what, you got to pay this off. Well, that's really interesting. Too many people were defaulting on it. So it says, okay, why would they do this? Why? Think about this. Why would they not allow the students to pay it back? Let's say you go to school, you file for bankruptcy, you get it wiped off, your credit is destroyed for 7 years, you can't do much for 7 years, you got to rebuild and you got to take responsibility for your actions. Okay, everyone says it was an easy way to do it. People aren't paying their loans back anyway. Now they're trying to garnish them and do all this, and now people are working under the table and not paying them off. So, anyway, as I was digging the information through the student loans and the health care and everything else, and this is actually true, and I could not believe it when I read it. It is stating, and you can look this up, look up ACA and student loans. They're one and the same. Free college bankrupt student loans. And it says here, this is just an excerpt out of it. It says, most lenders are huge institutions, such as international banks or government. After a loan is or originated, however, it represents an asset which can be bought and sold on the market. Banks often incentivize to move loans off the books and sell them to another intermediary. That's when you see something say, hey, my loan was bought by so-and-so, now you have to pay these people, but that's perfectly fine. Because doing so instantly improves their capital ratio, allows them to make even more loans. Since almost all loans are fully guaranteed by the government, banks can sell them for a higher price because default risk is not transferred with the assets. All right, that's only part of it. So, if they transfer the loans and the student defaults, the person backing that loan still has to pay that loan. The new assets carried by whomever does not have to worry about it because now it's money they have that they can resell. and the government is backing all this. They actually put student loans and Affordable Care Act together. They're one and the same. They're both in the same package. So the money that's being generated for student loans is also being generated by the ACA. And it says, the federal government as creditor. As of July 8th, 2016, the federal government owned approximately $1 trillion in outstanding consumer debt per compiled by the Federal Reserve Bank of St. Louis. That figure was up less than $150 billion in January, representing, and are you ready for this? The main culprit is student loans, which the federal government effectively monopolized in 2010 when the Affordable Care Act was signed into law. Now you know where the money went to. Think about that, folks. The money that's a student loan went into the ACA, and then it got diversed into whomever, Hillary, Obama, Biden, Kerry, whatever administration in 2010. Bush, Clinton, all of them. They all got this into the Affordable Care Act. You did not have the ability to get rid of your loan, so all that money is still being generated somewhere else. It's going wherever they wanted to send it to. So it's just cash flushed through the banks. You, as a student and as a person with ACA, had to carry that burden. You still do on your shoulders. The reason why they don't want the student loans going bankrupt is because that cash would be pulled out of the ACA and it would be pulled out of their slush fund. And it'd have to be wiped off the books and can never be used again. So as long as the students have to pay that money back, the money is still active within the system. They could care less if you pay them $1 or $5 or however you want to do it. They could care less. As long as that money's in the system, generating other money for their own pockets, there you go. For the cartels to bring the illegals across the border, who knows? Who cares? Let me continue on with this. An often forgotten provision of Obamacare, aka the Affordable Care Act, was it takes over the federal student loan program. Do you believe that? The Affordable Care Act took over the student loan program, with claims that doing so would provide vast financial windfall to help offset the ACA's cost. They said the Affordable Care Act was going to make everybody money. It did. They sucked it from the students. Think about this. The Affordable Care Act took on the loans that have to be paid back now. Now all that money is being dumped into healthcare. And you know how bad that is being run right now. You can't get anything done, and there is no money there. So, they offset the ACA's cost, $61 billion over 10 years, according to the Congressional Budget Office. Before the ACA, about half of the federal student loans originated with private lenders, while being guaranteed by the government. With the passage of the act, the government became both the lender and the guarantor. The banks were out of it. That is why our school system is so bad. That is why nothing's being taught. They have control of the educational system. Now they have control of your health care. And now they have control of your student money to get all that information. Now they control it all. Why do you think the students are so liberalized? Why do you think they only teach one version? They want to go socialism. This is socialism, my friends. This right here is socialism. We're talking the ACA took over the student debt. That's why when it comes to free student loans that Bernie baby and all the rest of them want to do, is easy for them to do because it's already in their pockets. All they have to say is ask us for the money. You have free student loans. If they were so worried about free money for the kids, why don't they do what that billionaire did at that college? I wish I remembered what it was. He stood up there and paid for everybody's loans. Why don't they do that? They just gave the border of $4.6 billion, and that's needed there more, but they didn't give it for the wall, though. Okay, I don't want to jump into a tangent, but I got to. AOC called the detention buildings or camps concentration camps. She has no idea what she's talking about. So, if they all agree saying that's a horrid conditions down there for concentration camps, why are we giving them $4.6 billion to enhance the human burning ovens, to enhance the torture cages, to enhance the poor conditions? Why are we giving them money? Why don't you just say, hey, they're bad, tear them all down, which is what they're aiming for anyway. We are on the road for problems. And I hate to say this, and I sound a little bit ultra right-winger, conservative, and constitutionalist. I do believe Trump is the only one looking out for the American people at this time. He has to make some pretty squirrely deals to get things done. But when he makes a deal, it's 4 steps down the road than anybody else is thinking. They only think right here, this is the deal. Okay, we make this deal. But he's way ahead of them. He goes, you make that deal, okay, I'm going to use that against you later on down the road. And that's what he's been doing. But he does have a lot against him. He has the entire left and the media against him. And he still is on top of the pile. It just proves, and I had this discussion this morning, that no matter what you do, and I'm talking to our government now, no matter what you do to the people will always find a way to get around it. No matter how much socialism you want to put in, if you start a country off as a socialistic country and you develop it that way, you'll have Venezuela. No, actually, that's not wrong. Venezuela is wrong. Venezuela is the reason why. Anyway, what I'm getting at is you have a communist country. People are used to that system. They won't change. But if you institute a new society of socialism or communism or Marxism into a society that more than 70% of the people are loving the freedom that they have, you will have Venezuela. That's the reason why I brought that up. Venezuela was a great country at one time until it went socialism. That's why there's going to be riots in the streets if Bernie Sanders or Biden or the rest of them get in, is because they're going to try to force you into a pigeonhole where you're not allowed to do anything. And who are behind these people? You're talking Google, Facebook, Twitter, all these major corporations that are controlling the data. They're going to pigeonhole you in. Think about it. Just what happened to me on GoDaddy. I couldn't run my website if I didn't pay them. I don't want to get into the biblical aspect, but this is what it's heading to. If I want to do commerce, I have to take the mark. Think about that. That's what it's all about. If you want to do commerce, you'll have to take the mark. Otherwise, they will block you and keep you from doing it, whatever. Now, that being said, 90% of the population will probably take the mark. But there's always a way to get around the mark. Granted, you're not going to have your Rolls Royces and your big, huge houses and your 4 cars, picket fence and everything else. You'll have to pull in the belt a little bit and get down to the nitty-gritty and take care of business. You'll have to grow your own food, your own livestock. You'll have to be able to live like that, maybe without a light. Maybe learn to make a candle. Not to say this is the scary scenario, but that's the way it has to be. If you allow this to continue on, that's where it's going. So, as this world enters into a new world, I really want to spread this about the ACA and the student loans being one. I cannot believe, and this is what shocks me, I am nobody here. Nobody. And I found this information. How can these other people on all the news stations, and I do mean all of them, have not discovered this very fact either? All right, I do this. I challenge them to prove me wrong. And you can post it on my website, RadioRussell.net. Anyway, prove me wrong, prove me wrong, prove me wrong. Okay. We're about 7 minutes away from the top of the hour, and they're going to be bumping me out of here real quickly. They're going to censor me and tell me to get off the air, Ross! Anyway, let's see. My question is I just read an article also that California is building part of the wall. Why? California doesn't want the wall. All they do is protest the wall. Give us the illegals. Give us this. We don't want these people. You can't do that. That's all inhumane. Fine. Don't build a wall there. Build it down the rest of the country first. Funnel all the people into California. Let them deal with it. And then when the wall is built on the other side, then do California. What's wrong with that? Why should we build the wall in California and funnel them into Texas? Heck no. So anyway, that was one thing. The other thing is I think I'm going to make a few people upset here right now. Let me go to this. Do a little bit, go in there. Where is it? What's that girl's name? Soccer Games World Cup, huh? There she is. Megan Rapinoe. Okay. The glorious star of the girls' soccer team, USA. She made 2 scores. She beat the French. She's gay. LGBTQ she fights for. She trashed America and knelt during the anthem. I was so for this team. That team can go to Russia for all I care. If she's the team captain and she's wearing the USA logo on her shirt, and she wants to be free in this country to express her views of life, being gay, who cares? But if you're going to trash the very country that allows you to do this, go away. That's all I got to say is go away. I don't want to have anything to do with a female soccer team because of her. She wants to make a statement. Let me make a statement. Go away. I do not care anymore. If you want to stamp and kneel on the flag and trash our country and then turn around and beat your chest because you're wearing the USA logo and you're a good athlete, I don't care. Russia has good athletes. China has good athletes. Go over there. Go to France. They need you. See if I care. I do not care one tiny bit. That really made me mad. I was so hoping that it was going to be different. But no. You want to make a statement? Fine. Make a statement. But I personally hope the USA female soccer team loses miserably next time. And I hope they shove her face straight into the mud. I'm sorry, I'm so tired of all these activists trashing America and then turning around and demanding America give them everything they want. This country is not for you. It's for us. It was based on the majority rules, not the one idiot that says, ooh, I'm a star. I'll guarantee you, whether she wins or not win, she's going to be a flash in the pan because they won't have anything to do with her after this. Her ego will go straight to her head, and I have no idea what this woman is like. She could be the nicest person in the world. I don't care. I am going to be very judgmental on this. You kneel during the anthem, and you trash America, go away. Simple as that. Yes, my time in the bucket is done once again. My name is Russell Mays, and we are listener-supported. 91.5, the Rebel HD2. KUNV Las Vegas, the broadcast services of UNLV. Well, folks, it's been interesting out there. Trump is really making their heads spin around, and I love it so much. It's so much fun to watch them twist and shout. Oh, goodness gracious. We're sitting at 99 degrees on the outside. Absolutely gorgeous skies out there. We're coming up on the top of the hour. Catch me again from 2 to 3 right here on KUNV, the wonderful world of Russ. Wasn't that just sweet? Isn't that just absolutely wonderful? Folks, I love you. You take care now. You make my day. Have fun. Bye-bye now.